How's it going? This is the conversion group. We're doing our iteration release. Here's our mascot. It is the new year for us. We're going into fiscal year 25. And with that, I'll pass it over to Nathan. What are we doing?
Thanks. I'm just gonna go in order from date. So the first one, it was a bit of carryover, but we removed a bunch of www pipelines jobs. So it was already done last iteration. I just merged it on Monday, but I didn't announce it in our retro. So we cleaned it up a lot, and there's been no complaints, and it's been almost 2 weeks. So looks like we deleted safely. The next one, there was, I guess, an incident where the community contribution or contribute page got reverted to www. So I fixed that, put it back to the new one, and deleted the old one. For the leadership images, I think it's for the e-group and what's the other one? Board of directors. There's just a cropping thing, so I updated some cropping. And then one of the big ones was documentation for the executive blog post. So I worked with Sandra and we got that into the internal handbook. And then another big one was contentful cache research. So worked with John and Mateo on this one, and we spoke with Gary from Contentful, and it's in their court right now. So we kind of figured out what's going on, and it looks like caching is not working properly. So they're looking into it, and we'll respond via email soon. They also gave us a couple of ideas for when it's working, how we can improve pipeline times, and how we can stay within that limit. Migrated the GitLab Duo translations over to Contentful. That one took forever. It's easy when it's French and German because it's like same alphabet, but as soon as you get to Japanese, you have to like triple check yourself to make sure it means the same thing. So that took a bit of time. And then did some validation with John and Javi. So just coming up with a plan on how we're going to do validation going forward with contentful response data. And then did that. So applied that to the board of directors and e-group pages, applied that to the homepage page, added the blog RSS feed back to the blog Slack channel. That was just a 30-second thing. I had time between pipelines, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just update it for them. And then a really cool thing is on merge requests, if you do the digital experience template, there's a checkbox now, and there's a section called like build variables. And if you check that checkbox, it'll use the preview API. And then if you don't use it, it'll use the default CDN API. So it's really helpful that now our review apps will show what production will look like. So hopefully we have less issues and less pipeline errors and more consistency. So yeah, there was a lot going on this iteration. That was it for me. Sean, you're up next.
Thank you, Nathan. Aside from what you mentioned before, that working on contentful validation data and also on the rate limiting with contentful, I did the migration of the Gartner Magic Quadrant page into contentful. Finally, I finished that one. It was a carryover. I did as well a new page, a beta program page. I can show you that one really quick. This one. This is a new page. It is already in Contentful. It has been implemented right away in Contentful. It's just join the beta program in the community page. It is the MVC one, so it has the template with some content that they shared, but we need to keep testing it and reviewing it in order to finalize this page. But this is the MVC one of the beta, join the beta program page. And finally, I'm wrapping up some improvements in the events template. I'm trying to use only one template for all the events pages. I'm in progress, good progress. And after this, we will only have one events template for every events page. And that's it for me. Next one is Margaret.
Yep. So for this iteration, I worked on updating our footnote links for the pricing page. That one is on hold, but I think we're just waiting for content confirmation for that. I also continue working on our 404 block errors. This time I continue just adding no checks and just error handling. So that's also an MR that's ready for review. I also work on fixing our GitLab dual page animation. and I continue working on our press pages, pulling from Contentful. I also added some updates for the GitLab Duo Pro sales landing page. And yeah, I think that's it for my iteration. I feel like it was a short one. For me, I was sick this week, and we had some issues with credentials last week. So I'm trying to catch up today since most of my issues have created a Mars. So I just need to get them merged. So I think that's it for my iteration. I'm gonna pass it over to Tina.
Thanks. I'm just gonna share my screen right away. So going from top to bottom on my boards, I'll start with my work on customer journey personalization flows. So this comes directly from our moments that matter work from last quarter or the quarter before. I'm getting confused now. So basically, we want to make it easier for self-serve customers to find information that drives purchasing decisions on our website. Currently, customers have to navigate independently to find content that aligns with their unique use cases, their company size, their role, and all of that. And so that has the potential of them missing aha moments at timely moments in their journey. So by pairing user input with 6sense data, we plan to serve content tailored to their specific needs. So what does that look like? So for example, here's an example, just like a really top level example. We're still working through the details, but we can create like an experience where they choose from drop downs, maybe their role, and then from a list of pain points. So maybe they want to improve developer productivity, they want to consolidate their tool chain, and then we compare that with the data layer that we already have. So that could be industry, company size. Maybe we can determine their buying stage and intent. And then from there, we create different segments, and then we serve a landing page based on what we perceive their needs might be. That might, kind of might have the perception of appearing a little creepy. So I wrote some guidelines on how to make sure we uphold like a customer-centric approach and prioritize confidence and trust. So you can read those independently. I'd love to get some feedback on this also. So in short, we want to just prioritize serving content that's aligned with their goals. We don't want to over-personalize things to kind of show off what we know about them, because that can obviously create a lot of discomfort. We want to balance personalization with good design and good content. Again, not to kind of overdo it. This isn't kind of prioritize personalization just for education purposes. And lastly, we want to empower them to kind of have control over what kind of information they want to give us. So what can that look like visually? Here's a quick mock-up. So here, these are the things that we might know about them: industry, company size, stage, role, developer, pain point. They can choose from this, a page like this. We could probably serve that on a second visit, maybe as an experiment to just like a portion of our traffic. And then once they have their selection, we can have a template that looks something like this with content tailored to what we know about them or their industry or their company size. And then here are a couple examples where, for example, for an enterprise customer, we would have CTAs to talk to sales or try Ultimate with a video as a header. And then maybe for somebody who's more in a small business or startup situation, we can promote our trial right away up high in the header. Couple little changes like that. So CTAs for small business, we can show demos. And then over here for enterprise, link to our ROI calculator, because we know that these are the things that resonate with these types of customers based on our research. So I won't go overly into the more details. I think I've talked about this for long enough, but yeah, we're still planning out what that looks like implementation wise. So stay tuned, I guess. What else was on my board? So pricing page, I've been supporting on that. Thank you, Lauren, for your input and helping us getting that into a review app in MR. That's in Margaret's hands now. I've been working on enabling our team of designers to use quantum metrics. So I've scheduled an enablement session, a kind of like UX design team takeover for our next session with quantum metrics. So that's moving along really well. And lastly, the platform page. So let's take a look at what we're doing here. So I haven't really gotten very far here, but we are working on updating our platform page. So what that looks like is we want to review analytics and quantum metrics engagement. Dennis is all over that. I'm looking at the quantum metrics side of things. We want to promote Duo Pro and our demos on the platform page. And we also want to update the content just to make sure that the page is relevant and aligned with our current product messaging. We need to make sure these pages, the YGitLab, the homepage, and the platform pages are looked at regularly just to make sure the content is up to date. Finally, not on my board, but I also took a look at our type stack. I just was looking at improving legibility. Here's a before and here's an after. As you can see, especially on large bodies of text, it's much more legible with increased line height and slightly smaller size. I feel like I've been talking for a long time. That's it for me. Yeah, I don't think anyone's next, so I'll hand it over to Filza.
That's all, folks. Thanks so much for a great